Okay, September 2nd. First thing I have for you is in 1940, the United States was not yet into World War II. We were technically peaceful. We weren't picking sides over one or the other, but we obviously favored the English. And at this time, they were the only ones fighting the Germans, certainly in Western Europe. And so the FDR administration devised a way for us to help the English without actually helping the English. And so what came out of this was the Lend-Lease program. So we agreed to give or lend the British 50 destroyers that we had mothballed, right? So they weren't active army or navy, but we just lent them to them. And in exchange, they gave us 99-year leases on some bases in the Caribbean and Newfoundland. And this became the beginning of the famous Lend-Lease program, where it allowed us to support England and ultimately Russia in their battle with Germany without getting involved directly in the fighting. So that's the first thing that happened today in 1940. The second thing was in 1901 at the State Fair in Minnesota, the Vice President of the United States at that time, Teddy Roosevelt, gave a speech in which was the first time he used the phrase, speak softly and carry a big stick. His second most famous phrase, bully being his first most famous, but what this was he believed in negotiations. He believed in fair negotiations, cordial negotiations, but always with the threat that we have a big stick that we could use if we needed to use it. What's interesting is he was vice president at the time, and within a couple weeks he becomes president because McKinley's assassinated in September of 1901. And the vice presidency at that time was not a powerful position. In fact, it was considered by his enemies within the Republican Party that they would stick him there because they didn't like him, they didn't like his policies, but it would keep him from actually being able to accomplish anything. Because it was largely believed that the vice president never went on to do anything. That was a place you'd hide somebody and they were gone. Obviously that didn't work out well for him, and we'll talk about that in a couple weeks. But that's what I have for you today. Speak softly and carry a big stick, and the Lend-Lease program in 1940. I'll see you tomorrow.